Welcome, bienvenue tout le monde. We'll begin our TNO meeting. And I'd like to say that, of course, this is the last meeting of 2025. And we have a quorum, so we will begin. The attendance sheet has been passed around, but I have a resolution from one of the councillors for the TNO meeting, Councillor Sandra Armstrong, to move the opening of the meeting. All in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number two, just to remind everyone that this meeting is being recorded. And that with our very sensitive owl in the middle of the table, Frances Beausoleil has asked me to remind you that there can just be one conversation and any little comments or whispers are picked up and it's distracting for people listening. So I'll simply read this. Cette séance publique du Conseil est enregistrée et diffusée en direct sur le compte YouTube de la MRC de Pontiac. Enregistrement est également rendu disponible les jours suivant la séance sur le site de la MRC de Pontiac. This public sitting of council is recorded and broadcast live on the MRC Pontiac YouTube account at MRC Pontiac 920. The recording is also made available the day after the sitting on the MRC Pontiac's website. Number three, the déclaration d'utilisation de la langue de son choix. Je rappelle l'importance pour les membres du Conseil régional et les autres participants à la séance de s'exprimer librement dans la langue de leur choix. Au besoin, il y aura la présence sur place d'une ressource de la MRC pour assurer une traduction. I'd like to reiterate the importance for regional council members and other participants in the city to express themselves freely in the language of their choice. If necessary, a resource at the MRC will be available to ensure translation. Number four, the Déclaration de la Préfète, statement by the Warden de Corne. Nous sommes élus par les gens du Pontiac pour les représenter au meilleur de nos capacités. Ils s'attendent à ce que nous menions nos réunions d'une manière professionnelle. J'écouterai très attentivement les débats et les discussions de cette réunion et si j'entends des paroles négatives ou des critiques à l'égard de quelqu'un d'autre, j'arrêterai la réunion et demanderai à cette personne de s'excuser. Si cette personne refuse de s'excuser, actually that is not necessary. There we are. The room over in their seat. We are elected by the people of the Pontiac to represent them to the best of our ability. They expect us to conduct our meetings in a professional and business-like manner. I will be listening very carefully to the debate and discussion in this meeting, and if I hear any words of negativity or criticism towards anyone else, I will stop the meeting and ask that person to apologize. Thank you. Number five, the reading and adoption of the agenda. Could I have a resolution? Councillor Terry Murdoch. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number six, are there any declarations of interest or conflict on the TNO agenda? Seeing none. Number seven, could I have a resolution to adopt the minutes of the last sitting? Moved by Councillor Ed Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Number eight, question period and statement. Let's see if any. Oh, you have a question.
Not a question, a statement. After the last meeting,
Right?
Actually,
Roger,
Oh.
excuse me.
yes,
I think that was not during the TNO agenda.
okay.
So yes, I'll give you a chance to do whatever in the public meeting. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, number nine, finances. Andrea Leclerc. Could we have a report on accounts paid, please?
Yes, so we had $49,112.33 paid. Majority for maintenance on trucks and maintenance of roads, and then there was the amount also to PG Solutions for software. So I need a resolution to pay the bills for the TNO Council in the amount of $49,112.33.
Okay, that's the full report. So, thank you very much. Are there any comments or questions about that? Seeing none, you're going to move the resolution. Thank you very much. Councillor Don Daniel, all those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Thank you. Miscellaneous, I don't think there is anything, and another question period and statements, no. So could I have a resolution to close the TNO meeting, the last one of 2025, moved by Councillor Raymond Fremont, all those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Now we will go to our public meeting of December 17th, the last one of 2025. Could I have a resolution to open the meeting? Moved by Mayor Doris Rache. All those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Oh, Mayor Spence, I had your little chocolate card right here beside me, but I'm happy to pass it down.
Thank you.
I was gonna say.
That's okay, go ahead, yeah.
Okay, perfect. I had previously read the application simply about the recording of the sitting in YouTube. I will not read it again, the same thing applies to this meeting, but just to caution once again, please keep comments to a minimum and best to just having one person speaking because we have a very accurate and sensitive recording mechanism in the middle of the table. And I'll do my best to recognize each person when they need to speak. Thank you. Number 3, just a reminder that everyone can speak in the language of their choice and we will provide translation if necessary. Number 4, the declaration of decorum, which is simply asking that people do their best to be professional and courteous. So we'll go to the reading and adoption of the agenda, and I'd like to add 2 resolutions to do with Hydro-Quebec. And we're going to just add them on the agenda after question period before general administration. And I'm just going to read the titles. We talked about this at the plenary meeting. The first one is to do with a demand or a request that there be more urgent timing with our modernization of infrastructure, hoping that this will make a difference reducing the outages. And the other one was brought to our attention by Mr. Jim Myers, who read in the press about a concern from the dam managers that some of the dams in Quebec have not been kept in a good state of repair. Now, the ones that are listed are quite a distance from here, but it all could have an impact. So it's another important request, and it's not just to Hydro-Quebec, it's to all of the companies that are involved with the dams. So these will be read out at the time when we deal with them. Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Director General Kenneth. 15.1.1 is actually involving the SSA and the remarkable events and feats that they accomplished. So we're going to move that up. Probably at number 8, instead of the youth council report, we'll put the SSA there, 15.1.1. Thank you. Could I have a resolution for the reading and adoption of the agenda with the 2 resolutions added? Moved by Mayor Corey Spence. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Are there any declarations of interest or conflict on this particular agenda? Seeing none. Number 7, could I have a resolution to adopt the minutes of our regular sitting of November 26th, 2025? Moved by Mayor Ed Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. And now we will go to our SSA. I'll just give a little, a small introduction. We're very fortunate to have one of the teachers of SSA, Bertrand Bertrand, who's well known to us, you've been here many times about the sugar bush, about various, what the, when you were finding yourself, also fundraising that your group have done, and mainly the skiing to the Parliament buildings.
The firefighters.
And the firefighters, was a very successful program with the youth. Pompier, 16, I think, graduated from SSA in your first year of training, and now it's at PHS. So we'll turn things over to you, Martin Bertrand, and I'll just quickly also introduce, because you gave me the 3 names. We have Charlie Soriol with us tonight. We also have excuse me, just a minute, and I don't know, you down. I'm sorry, why don't you introduce them, Martin, sorry.
Moi, dans le fond, j'ai pas grand chose à dire, ça va être nos étudiants qui vont nous expliquer un peu qu'est-ce qu'ils ont vécu, pourquoi qu'on a fait ça. Donc, on a Charlie Soriol, qui a marché les 3 étudiants ont fait le plein 60 km de marche. Oui, puis le dos, et puis le cœur. Right in the back. À vous la parole. Ils sont un petit peu, you're a little shy. Allez-y.
C'est quoi ta partie? T'as pas mal de à faire, c'est un gros défi à suivre. Soulever, ouais. Puis, je suis pas mal bien de moi, puis je manque de faire contact avec les personnes qui ont juste fait une partie, ils ont commencé les limites, puis vraiment fiers de l'expérience de l'accomplir.
Puis Ryland, c'était notre speaker de motivation et de donation. Comment tu disais ça encore?
Donner ta book mondiale.
And he'd say it really loud all the time.
All the time.
Everywhere they went.
Every car.
That was Ryan Stone. Donate the book. Oui.
Oui.
Ben, en partant, c'était comme vraiment amusant. Tout le monde avait sourire. Ça, on a appris à Campbell. Ça a fait du bien s'asseoir, manger du show. Puis, quand on a parti encore avec le grand sourire, on va atteindre sa amitié. Une chance qu'on avait nos amis. Je pense pas qu'on aurait été capable de faire.
Aussi, quand il y avait du monde qui venait nous encourager, ça a beaucoup aidé à la fête. À cause on était dans les petites booster notre vie, ça a beaucoup aidé.
Et pourquoi on a fait ça?
Pour le concert,
Combien est-ce qu'on a commencé?
mon Dieu.
3 000 $. Fait que, moi, ça me fait plaisir d'en rajouter un petit peu plus. Je vais le faire dans les 2 langues, je vais me promener un petit peu. On me pose la question pourquoi? Pourquoi ce défi-là? La grosse question, c'est pourquoi pas? Right? How many of you guys right now will say, hey, let's go walk 24 hours and see how far we can go? Well, the truth be told, no one of us will actually be, smart enough or, let's say, dummy enough to do that. But this came across, we were doing the Terry Fox walk at school, and some of the students started saying, can we do more? What's next? And I joked, I said, I've always wanted to see how far we could walk in 24 hours. The joke was on me because they said, let's do that, sir. Et puis, ces jeunes-là, ils n'étaient pas obligés de le faire du tout. Hein? Ça s'est fait un vendredi, le samedi. La plupart des étudiants ont resté chez eux sur Internet, sur Netflix. Eux, ils ont décidé, non, on veut relever le défi. C'était quand même tout un défi. On avait un défi ambitieux de 100 km. Et puis de ramasser des sous. On n'avait pas de montant en tête pour Pontiac. On voulait ramasser des sous pour Pontiac. And I hear this every day. And this has been my new challenge in my personal life. We keep saying that today's youth, they're not built like they used to be. That they're lazy, that they don't want to do it, no ambition, Well, I totally disagree with that. I'll turn this around. Today's adults are the ones imposing that on today's children. The day we stop imposing our personal limits and our fears on our youth, well, we're going to give them the chance to grow and prove otherwise. And this is what these kids did. Everybody said, we'll never do that. It's impossible. C'est beaucoup trop. 100 kilometers? no way. Well, they did 60 kilometers in the end because the PPG between Camels Bay and Shawville had this much of crusted snow on it, which made every step that we took, right, like comme 3-4 fois plus difficile. And it was really, really much harder than we thought. So we still did 60 kilometers and came back with the bigger majority of the students. We started with 28 and 18 did the whole 16 kilometers. And comme vous avez dit, la beauté de tout ça, c'est le Pontiac. Le Pontiac est sorti en support à l'expédition. Les communautés sortaient. Il y avait des gens sur le bord de la piste PPJ qui nous donnaient des denrées et des dons. C'est beaucoup. Puis moi, vous le savez, le Pontiac, je l'ai à cœur, j'ai les étudiants à cœur, parce qu'on est un groupe qui se tient, on est un groupe qui sont résilients. C'est pas pour rien, là. Jane elle va nous en parler. On a eu la chance d'avoir Radio-Canada avec nous autres. There's a big study being done at our school for the past 3 years because of the floods and the pandemic. And, you know, being one of the, let's say, less fortunate regions in Quebec, they're studying our youth at our school. And the Radio-Canada came by and they're trying to understand what makes the Pontiac people, our youth, their families, you know, resilient the way we are. And it's something, I joke it's in our water, that's what I think, but truthfully, this is a real study and it's gonna come out in February.
February 26th, it will be on the show, I'm not sure the name of it, it's which?
Découverte.
Découverte, which is like the nature of things in English with David Suzuki. It'll be a they've done 20 minutes of taping, so a half-hour show. And he's also going to send a copy so that it could be shown, you know, say at the Cinema Lynn, just so that everyone in the Pontiac could come and see it. And what I wanted to just add is that I've always heard one thing, going back to the days of forestry and the drive and everything else, that wherever people from the Pontiac work, all over Canada and the world, we are known to have the hardest workers, and we are known to be brave, courageous, resilient. And I found it so interesting that this film crew said to me, they were making a connection between the flood and the resiliency that the kids at buses say, or all youth in the Pontiac have.
It turned out to be a bonus, it was not even planned. And they're like, whoa, you guys are doing this? Okay, we're in the right place.
Yeah.
By the way, I have tons of students, like these three, okay, that are the best of the best here in the Pontiac, looking to work hard. If anybody needs any recommendations, send me an email. I will definitely give out some names. And just like any of my students, they can always ask me, and I'll always be truthful about that. That being said, when we were doing the walk, il y avait 28 étudiants au total. Je vous dirais au moins 6 familles de ces étudiants-là, au moins, qui marchaient, bénéficient directement de l'aide de bouffe Pontiac. On ne s'est pas pointé, hein, on n'a pas dit, tu sais, on sait quelles sont les familles. Et puis c'est pas pour rien, là, eux aussi ont marché pour aider la cause de Bouffe Pontiac. Puis c'est une belle entreprise qui aide énormément les familles dans le coin, mais pas juste dans le temps de Noël, qui l'aide à l'année. Puis c'était le fun de voir nos jeunes et les jeunes qui en bénéficient, OK, contribuer à l'effort pour faire connaître Bouffe Pontiac et ramasser des sous pour Bouffe Pontiac. Pour moi, là, c'est ce qui est venu me chercher là, vraiment là, profondément. And I'm not trying to say so, I found it really hard. Really, really hard. But for me, you know, people say sometimes a little bit crazy. I'm not. I'm inspired by that. Merci.
And the mayors, the council of mayors were so inspired by what you've done. And under the direction of Martin Bertrand, that it was unanimously decided to take a look at what was left in our sponsorship and donations budget, and give the remainder to you, knowing that you're giving this to Bouffe Pontiac. So we'll just make a little presentation. $1,380, so if you'd like to hold that, stand up, please, right now. Here's the booster, everybody.
You guys again?
Hold on, don't go. The paparazzi. And right here, please. Thank you.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Merci.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, this shows that there's, you know, a little bit more than $4,000, you know, in the Pontiac, and a lot of money coming out of the Pontiac to come and support here, you know, for Beau Pontiac. Merci tout le monde. See.
Yeah, thank you. And enjoy your well, Merry Christmas. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see.
The youth council report, they've got 10 on the youth council now. And the report in January will be quite exciting, simply because the CISO came to our last meeting and invited us to a major youth forum that they're going to be hosting. And it will be at the Campbell's Bay RA, and our youth council will be involved in it. So we'll hear more about that from the president. And then the new president is Aiden, Aiden John McCann, the fellow that you met last year. And Charlie Soriel is on the executive, as is Jan Durant, Jason Durant's daughter. All right, so Warden's report. Oh, we need a resolution for the check we've just given. Yes, thank you very much, DG Lesage. Do I have someone move the resolution? Moved by Mayor Colleen Riviere. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you. So we'll go on to Warden's report. From the Village James Shaw Committee, we had a major report giving us an update on that project. HR Committee, Care for Jeunesse, an interview with Ledois, MRC staff Christmas party in Chapeau, the Loi de rally that many of our mayors attended, thank you, with Pontiac Voice leading it at the hospital. Forestry Investors Meeting, CAP reading, FQM in Quebec City with DG Kim Lesage. The highlights were I spoke with the forestry minister, and there were presentations on climate change, the SHQ, renewable energy. Those are the main ones, okay? Attended Mamash, of course, that's right. Yes, with the new grants. St. Andrew's Christmas dinner, HR committee, budget committee, presentation by forestry investors, CSP committee, a preparation meeting for our plenary, seniors meeting, mayor's Christmas party, meetings with Hydro Quebec, read the outages, led by Mayor Corey Spence, and CAP reading, CPO meeting, this week, and also they had a Seneca set afterwards. We've had a request from citizen of the Pontiac. Women's Heart Health Month is going to be in January. February is the main Heart Health Month, and they're asking in advance that the mayors will wear red on February 13th for Wear Red Canada Day. So that's it. Any questions on my word report? Short and visual. Okay, thank you. Number 10, announcements, events. I know it's the end of the year, but perhaps some of you have something you'd like to say from your municipality or for some upcoming events or things that took place in the last month. Would you like to start, Mayor Ranger?
There's nothing going on, Chamber.
Okay, pretty quiet. Mayor Riviere?
No, always quiet in Litchfield, but I'll take the opportunity to wish everybody out there Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, stay safe, don't drink and drive.
Thank you very much. That's good. Mayor Corey Spence?
Same thing, just want to echo Their love year's words, so Merry Christmas to all, Happy New Year, all the very best. And one more thing, if anybody's listening, from our area, Les Alimettes, come January the 5th, we're starting our garbage collector, or sorry, recycling and garbage collection, so.
The blue bins,
The blue bins, yeah.
very good. Thank you. Award Raymond Pilon.
Yeah, it's the Legion, they posted their, the events for the next month or so. So, if you wanna go check out what's going on at the Legion, check out their website. Besides that, just wanna wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Joyeux Noël, et bonne année à tous. Health and santé number one. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Joanne Ralston.
There's, things are quieting down for families to just do their thing for the holidays. Je vais prendre un temps pour souhaiter joyeux Noël, bonne saison des fêtes à tous, prospérité et santé.
Merci. Mayor Pierre Cyr.
Yes, in Fort Coulonge, we organize call them the Citizens 527 meeting. It's our second one, the first one after the election, so it's this Friday, the 19th of December at Cafe Downtown. So it's at 5 o'clock, so we invite citizens to come and meet the councillors and the mayor. And the profit of the event goes to Maison de la Famille du Pontiac.
Okay,
So that's what we're gonna do this Friday.
thank you very
And
much.
of course, joyeux Noël et bonne année à tous.
See, Mayor Bill Lethary.
Other than lots of free public skating sponsored by the various service clubs over the holidays, and there's a schedule on Facebook of Charlotte Community Center, I'm just gonna let Santa Claus do his thing, and that's all. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Perfect, thank you. Mayor Sandra Armstrong.
Hi, we have one event, I read it in French real fast, so, it's à part des Chutes. Le 19 décembre, et c'est un spectacle de théâtre d'ombre au Festival des Lumières. Il y aura 2 représentations, donc à 18h45 et 19h30. L'expérience magique à ne pas manquer. It's a surprise announcement from the Parc des Chutes Coulonge. There'll be from Dirt Ag and Dream Shares Collective will be performing a shadow puppet show at the Festival of Lights. December the 19th, 2 showings, 6:45 and 7:30. Be a magical experience you won't want to miss. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you. Mayor Ed Walsh.
Quiet in Clarendon, but I would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Health and happiness over the board.
Thank you. Mayor Kevin Murphy.
Nothing happening for it. It's pretty quiet after our parade on Saturday.
It went well.
It did, yeah, it did, yeah. Happy New Year to everybody and Merry Christmas.
Okay, thank you very much. Mayor Roger Bone.
We had a pretty successful parade on Saturday, and the snowmobilers are gearing up and hitting the hills, but other than that, we're quieting down. Merry Christmas and a wonderful, safe, happy New Year.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Terry Murdoch.
I have one thing to mention, that we had a trivia night and it was more than successful.
Great.
Amazing many people came out to that,
Wonderful.
to show their knowledge.
Yes. Were you one of the competitors?
No. Not that smart,
But that was fun. Did you have that in your, right? Yeah, excellent.
but it's a good idea,
It is a good
Amazing
idea. I
how
know
many people-
Bristol does it.
and it doesn't cost much.
No. Great. Mayor Jean-Louis Corriveau.
Non, il y a rien à l'île ce mois-ci.
You had a big seniors dinner, eh, for Christmas?
Yes, past weeks ago, it was a full holiday, it was pretty good supper, I was there and everybody enjoyed. And I want to take la chance de souhaiter joyeux Noël et bonne année à tout le monde. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you. Mayor Cindy Squiddy from Elaine and Kaywood.
First off, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone from Aileen and Kaywood. We had our Santa parade on December 6th. It was successful. Lots of kids came and got to have their 5 minutes with Santa. We had our seniors dinner. It was also successful. Upcoming events, January 10th is the 150th anniversary committee meeting. January 31st is our winter carnival. That's always a great time if anyone's interested in making the trek up to Aileen and Kaywood. Our rink officially opened on December 9th, and until today it was in great shape. We'll see if the weather cooperates for the holiday school break, but other than that, hope for some cold nights.
Yes, thank you. Meredith, well,
We're looking forward to the holidays, so Merry Christmas to everyone.
great, thank you. I think we can leave the rest. Here, Valerie, Phil and Graham.
Marche Bristol Market had one of the most successful markets, held at our Jackery Community Center,
Yes.
December. And we had our first ever tree lighting ceremony, which we're pretty happy to have last Thursday evening.
Where was the tree?
Archie Brewer put it in front of our municipal hall, so we put that in, was one of the first things we did as council. Steve Pontiac, which is one of our not-for-profits we support, has had to move again. And so 12 very faithful volunteers are moving, thanks to Bristol Auto. And they've been given, quite a bit of land, to be able to use, but they're once again putting down snowshoeing trails and ski trails. As well, we have a rink, which is going to be open very soon, which is managed by the Bristol Community Association.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Mayor Donnie Daniel.
Residence Mayor monthly draw, December the 26th. Best of luck, everybody, and wish everybody Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Now we will go to the period of questions and statements. I don't think we have an audience tonight, but Mayor Roger Lafone, you have the floor.
Thank you. I just wanted to apologize to the mayor of AC. I know I did it personally as well. I had a lot of time to think about my comment last meeting on the long journey home. And though it was portrayed to me that it wasn't needed, whereas I say it's green, could be, someone could think it was emerald, someone could think it was jade. In no way did I mean that their situation was not important. That was not my intention. It's very important. And I think us as mayors need to back AC in their quest to resolve this situation. I understand it's been a while ongoing. I received the information that I requested, and I'm still deciphering it. And I wish that we could start the new year with the progress. Give. Both sides have to give on this. And I think us as mayors, we gotta back our colleague and help resolve this situation. And I think collectively we can do it, because the only ones winning here are the lawyers. Just like a divorce. It's the only thing. So let's avoid that. And I think we should be able to come up with a resolution that'll fit both sides temporarily. At least get that going. At least put in that effort to get that going, because right now I understand it's a stalemate.
And so your purpose of asking for the floor was mainly to apologize.
Yes.
That's the same.
Yes.
I just wanted to say I have a lot of respect for that. That's never happened in the last 8 or 9 years, and good for you. And I think it's I'm sure that Mayor Squinny appreciates it.
Yes.
So thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Roger.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate it.
So we will now go to adding 2 resolutions. I'll just, first one is about the high frequency of power outages in the MRC Pontiac. We've had other resolutions in the past. What's different about this one is that, I'll just read it quickly, I'll read it in English. Whereas the Pontiac MRC experiences a significantly higher number of power outages than other regions of Quebec, whereas these frequent and prolonged power outages have a significant impact on public safety, the health of vulnerable individuals, business operations, economic attractiveness, and the quality of life of residents of MRC Pontiac. Whereas the electrical infrastructure serving the MRC Pontiac is aging and insufficiently adapted to current climatic realities, particularly the increase in the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. Whereas Hydro-Quebec's current plans to modernize power lines and build or upgrade electrical, actually it's one, it's not plural, it's one substation, are based on a schedule that does not respond to the urgency of the situation in MRC Pontiac. Whereas the MRC Pontiac has been identified as the region with the highest number of power outages in Quebec. So it is resolved that the MRC Council formally request that Hydro-Quebec grant the MRC Pontiac priority status in construction of new electric substation and modernization of existing lines ahead of the currently planned schedule, which is to start 2028 and not be finished till 2030. Request that the government of Quebec recognize the urgent and exceptional nature of the energy situation and provide financial and regulatory support to accelerate the required projects. And transmit this to Hydro-Quebec, the Minister of Economy, Innovation and Energy, the Minister of Public Security, the Minister responsible for the Outaouais region, Member of Parliament for Pontiac, Kittaghan-Zibi, Ms. Sophie Chattel, and MNA for Pontiac, Mr. Andre Fortin, and the other MNAs for the Outaouais region. And when Kim, DJ Lesage and I were at the CPO meeting this week, all of the other wardens and the mayor of Gatineau support us and understand that compared to the odd outage in Hull, we have a much more challenging situation. So they are actually, a resolution is being moved to the CPO as well, which they will all support, which I think is important. So could I have, with Mayor Corey Spence, would you like to be the mover of this? Thank you very much. All those in favor? Opposed? And we could say it's unanimous, I believe. Thank you. And the second one is to do with the security of the dams. And basically, it's the concerns regarding dam safety during flooding. So the article was in La Presse, December 12th, announcing that dam engineers have revealed they can no longer guarantee the safety of the Quebec dams under their responsibility. Whereas dam managers on the Ottawa River have expressed concerns about the condition of certain infrastructure and its ability to adequately retain water during spring floods and major floods, whereas sudden spring flooding and major floods are becoming more frequent due to climate change. Whereas any dam failure or inadequate flood management poses a serious risk to the safety of people, property, and infrastructure downstream, including several municipalities in the Pontiac RCM. Consequently, it is resolved that the Pontiac MRC Council express its deep concern about the condition of the dams along the Ottawa River. Request that the competent authorities and dam managers provide clear, transparent, and up-to-date information on the state of the infrastructure and the mitigation measures in place. Request the implementation of a coordinated plan involving Hydro-Quebec, dam managers. It's also the OPG, so it's not just Hydro-Quebec and Brookfield. The relevant ministries and municipal authorities to ensure the safety of the population and resilience of infrastructure in the face of climate change. Transmit this resolution again to Hydro-Quebec, the Minister of Economy, Innovation and Energy, Minister of Public Safety, Minister of the Environment, Member of Parliament for Pontiac, Kittaghan-Zibi, Ms. Sophie Chattel, Andre Fortin, other MNAs of the Outaouais region. And I'd just like to again give credit to ORFA, which is Jim Meyer's group, because I had not seen La Presse, and when I read the article, it is very concerning. And I think now in December is the time to be asking for this information. So I hope that you agree that it's an urgent issue, and I'm looking for someone to move this resolution.
This is who we
Moved by, okay, pardon me, why don't you read that part, please?
Something that wasn't in the resolution, but we recommend also sending it to la Direction des Sécurités des Barrages, so security of planification de la régularisation de la rivière des Outaouais, OPG, public Canada.
Right, thank you. And so, I believe we're the first MRC to be asking for that something be done. I think it's very important, and I hope our counterparts in Ontario are also thinking about this. And the last thing I wanted to say, actually, I'll say it after we have voted. So, Mayor Sandra Armstrong put up her hand to move the resolution. All those in favor? Opposed? So that would be unanimous as well. Thank you very much. Just going to say, I remember when Alain Gagnon was the mayor of Bryson, we were invited to do the Bryson Dam. And I think the amount of money they were talking about at one time is something like 250 million. We're putting a lot of money into that dam, that it needed quite a bit of work. And then nothing was said. Remember, we had people come and speak to us about providing temporary accommodation for the workers and all that. 2 years later, there were some workers, it was a few months, there were some divers, there were people working. And we know that that dam is never functioning at full capacity. So the concern is, and it might be because some of the turbines, et cetera, are not working. And when Lac Melange is full to capacity and danger of flooding residents, we always want more drawing power from the Bryson Dam. So between that and the fact that we have also been told that our dams north of here, including Riphead and north of Riphead, are actually like a teacup compared to like a large cauldron. In other words, they're not deep reservoirs. So the reservoirs can only hold so much, which puts a lot of pressure on the dams being able to hold the water back. And when we get rain these days, it's a torrential rainfall. So for all these reasons, I think it's wonderful that these dam managers have actually come forward and are letting the public know that they aren't sure that they can rely on the present state of the dams. So thank you for your support on that. And I thought it was important to add these to the agenda tonight rather than waiting until January. So we'll go to general administration. The MRC committees, committee composition and membership. Director General Kim Lesage, 12.1.1, the Ottawa River Waterway Committee.
Thank you. And so this is to establish Ottawa River Waterway Committee tasked with the following mandate. Committee meets a few times a year as needed to discuss issues related to the Ottawa River Waterway and to make recommendations regarding its operation, infrastructure, and contracts and promotion. We are recommending to appoint members of the Regional Council, Pierre C., Jean-Louis Corriveau, Sandra Armstrong, Joanne Ralston, Evan Murphy, Donald Gagnon, Roger Lafont, Valerie Toulon-Graham, Doris Ranche, myself, as the DG, Danielle Book, Economic Development Commissioner, and Stephanie Hebert, also an Economic Development. Also be resolved in accordance with section 3 of the MRC's committee policy that Warden Jane Toller and Raymond Pilon are ex officio members of the committee as warden and pro warden.
Thank you. Could I have someone move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Donnie Gagnon. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 12.1.2, the MRC Pontiac Youth Council Resolution. DG Lesage.
It would be proposed to establish the MRC Youth Council for 2026, which is composed of students from 3 Pontiac high schools, tasked with the following mandate, is to give a voice to the youth and to work on priorities to make the Pontiac a more dynamic region for youth. It would be resolved that Warden Toller oversees the meetings and activities of the Youth Council and be responsible for ensuring the various sectors of the Pontiac region are represented on the council.
I have someone move this resolution. Moved by Mayor Ed Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 12.1.3, the Cultural Follow-Up Committee Resolution, DG Kim Lesage.
So this is for naming these people on the cultural committee. So we have voting members, Greg Graham, Desiree Tremblay for the Maison des Jeunes. Greg Graham is with the Pontiac Community Players. Robert Wills from the Pontiac Historical Society. Carrie-Anne Hobart, Parfa, Pontiac Artists Association. Louis Harvey, Far West, Volet Patrimoine. Michel Amé-Parent, Far West, Volet Broadcasting and Artists. Annie La Charité from Trip FM. And then we would nominate the mayor of Bristol, Valerie Toulon-Graham, and the mayor of Thorne, Terrence Murdoch. There's 2 non-voting members, so Marie Gionette, who's our Commissioner for Economic Development and Culture, and also Catalina Gonzalez Hilarion, Cultural Development Advisor at the MCs.
Okay, could someone please move this resolution, moved by Mayor Joanne Ralston, all those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 12.1.4, the Agricultural Zone Development Plan, PDZA, Implementation Committee, Resolution, DG Kinlassage.
The PDZA was adopted in 2025, and there's an action plan to be implemented from 2025 until 2030. Follow-up committee that supported the revision of the PDZA has ended, and now PDZA Implementation Committee is recommended to ensure the action plan for 25 to 30. Proposed to establish the following members. One representative from the UPA, one from the MAPAC, one from the Table Agroalimentaire de l'Outaouais, one from the MRC Economic Development, two representatives from the Regional Council, one aspiring farmer, one farmer from the territory, and one agronomist. So it would be resolved tonight to appoint Mayor Jean-Louis Corriveau and Mayor Jordan Evans as representatives of the MRC on this committee. It would also further be resolved to nominate Shannon Armstrong to appoint as part of the Economic Development Department, and Miss Amy Taylor of the SADC to support the committee's work. Jane Toller and Raymond Pilon are ex officio members of the committee as warden at Fillmore and Pulse.
Thank you. I have someone move this resolution, moved by Mayor Don McDaniel, all those in favor, opposed, and that carries. 12.2, the MRC representation on boards of directors. 12.2.1, MRC representative on Trans-Colin Board, resolution, Kim Lesage.
So as opposed to our MRC committees, these are for boards of directors. So the first one we had, it was Pascaline, is that one?
Yes.
Okay. So it would be to resolve to appoint Mayor Pierre Cyr as representative of the MRC Pontiac on the board of directors of the Pascaline.
Thank you. Could I have someone move the resolution? Moved by Mayor Joanne Ralston, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 12.2.2, MRC representative on Transgration Board, resolution, DG Kim Lesage.
It's proposed result to appoint regional councillors, Mayor Colleen Lariviere and Joanne Ralston as representatives of the MRC Pontiac on the board of directors for Transport Accent.
Okay, so we move the resolution, moved by Mayor Jean-Louis Corriveau, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 12.2.3, MRC representative Chamber of Commerce, resolution, DG Kim Lesage.
Considering the importance of the MRC representation of the board of directors of the Pontiac Chamber of Commerce, it would be proposed to appoint Sabrina Ayers, Socio-Economic Development Coordinator at the MRC, as the MRC representative on the board of directors for the Pontiac Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. Moved by Mayor Sandra Armstrong, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 12.2.4, MRC representative for the Chute Calange, resolution, DG Kim Lesage.
And we propose to appoint Jane Toller of the MRC as the representative for the board of the Chute Calange.
Someone move the resolution, please. Moved by Pro Warden Raymond Pilon, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. 12.2.5, the MRC representatives for the Corporation of Bickinock, CFP, resolution, in Lesage.
And then lastly, it would to appoint regional councillor Jack C. and Jane Toller as representatives of the MRC Pontiac within the corporation in Bickinock.
Okay, so we move the resolution, moved by Mayor Valerie Tulin-Graham, all those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. Thank you. So we go to finances, 13, with Andrea Lafleur. 13.1, our financial report. This is for December, I guess.
Yeah. So we have accounts payable, a list of accounts payable that was on the side in the amount of $403,376.66. Big amounts in there, we had PG Solutions for $102,935.96, that's actually the 2026 contract. And then FPM Services, which was a mixture of evaluation, files, revision files, all kinds of expenses that we paid to the FQM. Those were the bigger amounts that stood out to me in that report. Then there was also another report for payables that have already been paid during the month. And there was some big amounts in there as well. There's an amount of $30,698.33 paid to Blue Heron Landscaping, and that was for the septic system at the Chute de Village. Then there was also a large amount paid to the Groupement MRC de Pontiac. And I had to look up what this word was in French, but apparently it's pruning in English. I forget now what it was in French. TPI, Lac Lafrenière, Lac Presley, Lac McColgan, Lac Soria, Lac Poche. Then we had some amounts paid out, one to the municipality of Shawville for $26,196. That had to do with an FRR2 grant that was received from Millground Park. And $22,631.55 to the Comité Touristique de l'Île des Animettes for an FRR2 project for repairs to a gallery of some kind. And then you'll see a big amount of $66,110.93 or 63 cents that was paid to Ménager Boo. That was for cleaning that was done at the abattoir having to do with the issue that was there. So we have some accounts receivable, 39,000 that'll have to come from the TNO and 14,000 from the municipality of God Manchester. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where God Manchester is or exactly what that's for, but I can get more details on it. Year to date, we have revenues of $8,666,000 versus a budget of $8,750,000. And we have expenses of $8,840,000 versus a budget of $8,913,000. The visa statements were all attached, everything was there. If anybody has any questions? So we would need a resolution to authorize the list of accounts payable in the amount of $403,376.66 and a list of payments in the amount of $348,475.30.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions about any of the items that Andrea Lafleur has reported on? Okay, seeing no questions, comments, could I have someone move the resolution to accept the report? Mayor Terry Lafleur, all those in favor? You know what? I'm sorry. Andrea Lafleur, Terry Murdoch, I'm so sorry. Mayor Terry Murdoch, would you like to move this resolution? Yes, you got your hand up.
All those Terry Jean tonight.
I am, we're Terry's. I hope he's gonna feel better. All those in favor? Opposed? And that does carry. Thank you. So we'll go on now to our budget 2026, 13.2. So we'll begin with 13.2.1, and it will be a budget summary. So I guess you've got a bit of a presentation. Yeah, thank you. We'll just take time to pass these around.
There's a PowerPoint that's posted on 95 for everybody. And we can go through it this evening. Okay, so we'll begin with the revenues. Municipal shares, we have an amount of 4,342,953, which represents a 3.24% increase from last year. We have municipal services for 165,515. We have license bureau revenue for 112,314. Crown land leases, 625,556, and other revenues, 231,894. Then we have grant revenues, diversification of revenues, 216,684. Training salary grants, 10,937. Renovation program, 35,000. Land use grant, 672,584. Development grants, 3,690,785. Transport, 328,000, and PJ maintenance, 270,000. Which totals 10,702,222. And then we have an appropriation of surplus, 402,100. To bring us to a total revenue and appropriation of 11,104,322. In expenses, administration, we have legislation, 95,691. Salaries, benefits, travel expenses, etc., 1,425,280. Legal and professional fees, 80,000. Other, 228,539. SAC License Bureau, 171,752. Fire and Civil Protection, 96,566. Animal Control, 119,000. Assessment, salaries, benefits, travel expenses, 565,377. Contracts, 538,753. Software and other, 319,841. Professional human resources, 903,657. Environmental health, 77,157. Planning and development, planning, 15,033. Planning revision of land use, 70,000. Geometric, 25,416. Crown leases, 625,556. Crown land leases. 25,416 geometric leases, 625,556. Strategic development, 2,409,176. Trails maintenance, PPJ was a rock, 285,000. Culture and heritage, 101,000. Transportation, 328,000. MRC contribution to transportation organizations, 361,917. Special projects, 103,875. Partnership and development, 701,955. Development, 954,986. Overhead related to planning and development, 67,437. Renovation program, SHQ, 31,500, and other, 7,600. Cost of financing, 79,658. Capital expenditures, 15,000. For total expenses of 11,104,323, which balances our budget. On the next page, we have the overhead expenses detailed. Don't go through those things. Yeah, so the total overhead expenses are divvied up among the different departments in percentages. So the total amount for 2026 that is divided up is 326,661 compared to last year, which was 295,766. The main difference there is we put more money into building maintenance. We have to replace some electrical panels. And also the snowplow contract has gone up from $4,200 to $10,000. So those were the significant increases in that budget. The next page is the page that Kim shared with all the mayors on Friday evening, I believe. It's the shares. So the shares, as I said earlier, 3.24% increase, which results in a change.
We don't have any share.
Oh, sorry, it's on the PowerPoint. Wait. Yeah, sure. Wait. You have to see my beautiful PowerPoint, it's my first time working in PowerPoint. I offered to help, so that one gotta learn. It's been, I put them all on a white background so they're easy to see. So si tu vas à la fin, hein? Yeah, very thorough. So that is the share calculation. There's been no change since it was sent out on Friday evening. Yeah. Yes, so it was calculated using 50% of the standardized value and 50% of the actual real estate value, because there was a bylaw passed in the fall of 2024 to change the way the shares are calculated. So the shares for 2026 in total are 4,342,953 compared to 2025, which was 4,206,500, for a difference of $136,000 and 3.24%. Yeah. Just a couple of things I noted when I was just going through the my own presentation. Additional revenues from grants was 1,772,000. So even though our budgets used to be a lot more than it was in 2025, in actuality, revenues, expenses, one offsets the other. Yes, the budget's higher, but the revenues and the expenses are both higher. So really, it's not a.
So basically, you're saying that this time last year, we were looking at sort of a $9 million operating budget. This year it's 11. So it's not that our spending has increased by 3 million, it is that the grant money that has come in has taken, has accounted for over 1.7 million of that 2 million.
Correct. Almost 1.8 actually.
Important.
Yes. In administration, we had an increase of 144,677. There was a substantial increase in collective insurance. It's being felt in the municipalities as well. And I was looking today and it says it's based on experience from 2022 to 2025. So they're going back, they're looking at the file, they're looking at the experience, and they've unfortunately, we've all seen massive increases in collective insurance premiums. We also have an additional employee working at the reception area, and she's also working hard on a lot of other administrative duties, including helping Julien Gagnon a lot with work in the for the fire safety service. We have an increase in legal fees due to a lot of ongoing files. In assessment, we hired an additional inspector. And also we are dealing with a lot of revision files, which is approximately $300,000 worth of costs that we had to put into the budget. We've hired an additional person to work with Julien. Increased demands from the government having to do with fire safety. In development, we have increased expenses, but we have more grant revenues coming in, which leads to more projects being approved. One offsets the other. In financing, we had to refinance the loan for the building. And the interest rates were a lot higher than they were previously. So that led to an increase in interest and increase in expense. Like I said, part of the overhead is distributed snow removal contract and the building maintenance, electrical panels, etc.
So mandatory expenses.
Mandatory expenses. That's right.
And just one point about your legal, I believe you've placed a certain amount as potentially what might be needed.
That's right.
But in real experience, we may find that it is not that.
It's just an estimate. A budget is a
exact provision. That's it.
Surplus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yes, Mary.
Will we be seeing the document that will break out how our shares are being spent?
That's going to be sent out
Yeah, tomorrow or Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, thank you.
That would be a good document to have at the budget committee, too.
Pardon me?
That would be a good document to look at the budget committee, to see just what you said, how the services are broken out in the
The
shares.
budget committee hasn't seen
Yeah.
it yet? It's, you have.
It's ready for
Not
the
the
municipalities for.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. The documents are actually ready, Jen, we'll just have to send them out.
Okay, good exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments? I'd like to just say overall that, with an election year, the budget process got somewhat delayed because, many of us were not able to have meetings for a good portion of time, a couple of months. But the fact that, in the end, we all agreed that it was important to lighten the load and keep things affordable for our residents. And when we were looking at what the potential increase would be with the shares, in the end, we were able to take some money that was identified from the surplus. And the benefit of that is, it is a way of ensuring that all residents or all municipalities benefit from that. So instead of the 3.24, it could have been higher. But the 3.24, I just want to say well done to everyone. I think that is an affordable number. Just out of interest, city of Gatineau is at 3%. Valley de la Gatineau is at 3.6%. Unfortunately, Papineau is much higher because they have a lot of work to do. You wanted to read something before, if there are no other questions or comments, are there any? Mr. Budget Chair, would you like to say something?
Sure. I'd just like to echo exactly what you said there. People, the budget committee and the mayors here are very acutely aware of how we need to spend the public's money. There's changes that the staff here have been doing and working towards based on comments of some, like what you said right there with regards to seeing where the shares goes. It's very important for public to see, for us to see, and even for the mayors to better understand where the money is going. And all these little things are adding up, and I think we're going in the right direction. And I just want to say thank you for the team for doing that.
Thank you. And we all want to keep the Pontiac affordable. Now, did you,
Two things, yeah,
Yes.
just quickly, there's the graphs we prepared, there's a PowerPoint presentation for the mayors on either side. So we have graphs showing the revenues and then the expenses on the next page for 2026 compared to 2025 for the different departments. Also, these documents that we passed along tonight will be available for the budget on our website as of tomorrow for the public. And finally, the resolution we need to move tonight, it says, considering the presentation of the 2026 budget summary, it is proposed by regional councillor and resolved that the regional council adopt the MRC Pontiac budget for the year 2026 as presented by Andrea Leffler at the December 17th, 2025 sitting.
Okay, thank you. Would someone like to take carriage of this? Mayor Pierre, sir, all those in favor? Opposed? And we'll record that as unanimous. And I would also like to say on behalf of the MRC Council of Mayors, Andrea Leffler, congratulations on your first budget. And you've really been on the job just a few months. You've done an excellent job. Thank you very much. So that took care of, I guess, 13.2.1 budget summary, and now we have adoption of the bylaw, MRC 2026 expenses and revenues.
Natasha, I'll just pull it up real quickly.
13.2.2.
But this is a bylaw that you need to adopt to provide for the expenses and revenues of the MRC for the year 2026.
Moved by Mayor Donnie Daniel. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you. 14, public safety. So 14.1, the SQ Cadets Program 2026. We need a resolution. DG Kim Lesage.
So Quebec has a cadet program that allows students in the Technique Police program to work for the SUFTI as cadets during the summer months. So this is for us to express our interest for the MRC Pontiac to have some cadets. The fees in effect for the program for 2026 is $17,000 per cadet. 55% of the costs are covered by the SUFTI Quebec. 45% would be by the MRC. so 7,655. So the proposition tonight is to express to Sûreté that we're interested in taking part in the cadet program, and that we would welcome up to 4 cadets to that, as in the past, from the and also, we're asking them to, if they could have the hours, there'd the option of having the bonus hours for the long weekend of the Shovel Fair in September. Which I believe the fair, of course, committee and the mayor's, thought was very beneficial for.
Okay, thank you very much. Who would like to move the resolution? Moved by Mayor Ben Walsh. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. We go on to economic development, 15.1. The 15.1 we have already done with SSA. We need to vote on that amount. Oh, we did.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you. 15.1.2. 2026, a donation request, community calendar, the Pontiac Lions Club resolution.
So I'm doing economic development tonight too.
Actually, I don't think you can miss this.
Well, I'm not moving it.
Oh, no, will we even present it? Do you have to say conflict of interest? Oh, I present. So she is the president of Pontiac Lions Club, right? Congratulations. That's right. You'll just describe it and then someone will.
So it was a request from the Pontiac Lions Club for a donation for their 2026 community calendar. That's going to be distributed during the holidays. It's a $75 amount that they were asking.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Someone like to move the resolution? Moved by Mayor Pauline Riviere. All those in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. They're lucky to have leadership there, trust me. 15.1.3 donation request, Secret Santa for seniors, Friends of the Pontiac resolution.
Yeah, so we received a request for donation from Friends of the Pontiac for a Secret Santa project. And that would be distributed to seniors in December of 2025. And it is a recommendation from the Economic Development Department to allocate $200 for it.
Okay, $200. Someone like to move this resolution? Moved by Mayor Joanne Ralston. All those in favor? Opposed? That carries. 15.2, funds granted for municipal winter activities, 2025 to 2026 resolution.
We invited municipalities to submit grant applications to contribute to their winter carnival. So does it say 11 on here? It says 10 municipalities responded with their applications. So we have carnivals in the municipalities of Aylen and Kaywood, Campbell's Bay, Port Boulange, Île du Grand Calumet, and Thorn, public skating, Île aux Alimets, and snowshoeing, public skating in Mansfield, Pontefract, and Chichester, and snowshoeing, fishing, and sliding for Otter Lake, public skating and sliding in Shawville. So this is a recommendation for $230 for each municipality to receive for their winter activities.
Any comments or questions? Who would like to move the resolution? Moved by Mayor Joanne Ralston. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. Thank you. 15.3, launch of the Cultivating Reading Call for projects under the Pontiac MRC Cultural Agreement. Resolution, DG Kim Lesage.
So the MRC is launching a call for projects as part of the Cultural Development Agreement with the Ministère de la Culture et des Communications, the MCC, setting aside $20,000 to support initiatives that meet the objectives of its cultural policy. So under the theme is cultivating reading. So the MRC invites local organizations and partners to propose creative, accessible, inclusive, and unifying projects that encourage participation by everyone, regardless of age. The goal is to stimulate an interest in reading, creating opportunities for people to meet and forge ties within the community. If there's any questions, you can contact in our economic development group is Marie Gionnet by email m.gionnet, so GIONET at mrcpontiac.qc.ca. So looking for a resolution to adopt the culvert project as presented.
Moved by Mayor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries.
Just mentioned.
Yes.
thing. The call for projects will come up on January 19th, and the limit to propose a project will be the 25th of February 2026 at noon.
Thank you. 15.4, commitment by the Pontiac MRC to the sectoral development agreement, creation of a regional museum in the Outaouais. Resolution, Kim Sash.
So this is a resolution for an initiative to provide the region with a professional caliber museum. And this is for facility promoting regional history, heritage, and cultural development. There are several institutional and municipal partners already committed. So we have the MCC, MRC de Ponthiac, City of Gatineau, Musée Régional de l'Outaouais, Ministry of Municipal Affairs, Tourism Outaouais. So the total tag funding is 800,000. The MRC wishes to implement measures to improve and enhance cooperation with actions promoting the development of arts and literature within our territory. We wish to demonstrate therefore our support for this regional initiative without requirements of any financial contribution. So it would be proposed tonight to confirm our intention to join the sectorial development agreement for the creation of the Musée Régional de l'Outaouais, so the Regional Outaouais Museum, and to collaborate in achieving the objectives of the agreement by promoting the history and heritage of our territory. It would also be proposed to appoint myself as representative to the headquarters of the Partners Committee for the MRC Pontiac. And finally, to appoint Marie Jeannette, Economic Development Commissioner, as representative for contracts and recipients of notices and communications, not contracts, I meant contacts. She would be the contact, I would do the contracts. She would be also named for recipients of notices, communications under this sectorial agreement.
Great, and I think there's also going to be a connection with our local museums as well.
Yes.
They're very interested in having a connection. We have some excellent material in many of our museums.
Oh, and forgot, because it is a sectorial agreement, and we're also need to say that myself and Warden Muller will be the executives able to sign the agreement. So.
Good. Moved by Mayor Sandra Armstrong. All those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. 15.5, awarding of contract heritage inventory of buildings to Firm Passerelle. Resolution.
So on April 1st, 2021, the Cultural Heritage Act introduced the obligation for regional county municipalities to adopt an inventory of buildings constructed before 1940 that are located within our territory. This includes residential, public, institutional, industrial, commercial, cultural, and religious buildings, and also structures such as bridges, dams, monuments, shrines, crosses, memorials, outbuildings, such as cellars, barns, and stables. There's the first step that was done, characterization study that was done by the firm Bergeron Gagnon. We had a resolution for that in 2024. It was completed in April of 2025. Now for the inventory, we have received 2 bids. The lowest compliant bid was by Passerelle, the firm. It would be to award, the resolution would be to award Passerelle the first phase of the built heritage inventory for the amount of $63,000 plus tax. The necessary funds would be allocated as follows. 25,743 from the MCC, 17,162 by the MRC, 20,094 from FRR2 of 2025-2026 revenues funding for that total budget of $63,000.
Thank you. Any comments or questions?
So what involvement is the municipalities that the penalty inspectors were to do this before, so now they won't have any involvement anymore? Or if you're talking about all the heritage buildings and all the municipalities, right? So I know our building inspector had started working on our power and all that stuff, but you can go with their hands off, now they're not involved with stuff. Or
I'll have to get back to you with the resume of what's being done.
I think just what I know, that all the municipalities have given information, And then Marie is just coordinating it for the whole of Pontiac. But I think she agrees that there could be some buildings or places of historical significance that have not been yet, added in and still can be.
That's why I was just curious. They didn't even want to be doing that, Jeff, that's why I was just saying that.
Okay.
So they're not gonna have to do it now.
Well, we are hiring a firm to take care of it.
The firm is.
We might need to, to talk to them once in a while, but the actual work itself, to do the event is this firm that we're hiring.
But they are starting with the records that they already have been given them.
That was the, characterization study that was done.
I just wanted to add to
Go ahead.
Mary Walsh is that where the hope is that the physical inventory and counting is not gonna be something done by.
That you have to do.
Yeah, okay.
Good point. All right, well, should come as a relief then.
Yeah.
Good. There's Roger.
Has to be completed on 2026. More notes here.
We'll get more information and have it for the plenary in January. Okay.
It'll cover 1 year of work, it says.
1 year work.
Starting in January 26.
Okay.
On the act, I don't know what the deadline is.
It's kind of on go, right? Every year you're gonna get another batch of heritage.
Probably, yeah, it's inevitable.
It's just a snapshot in time.
Exactly, good point. Okay, we go to 16, infrastructure. Did we vote on that? Yes, I believe Sandra Armstrong had moved that resolution, is that right? No, not this one, all right. All right, Mayor Quayle, would you like to move this resolution? On the passerelle, okay, all those in favor? Opposed? And that carries. In 16, regional infrastructure, 16.1, the awarding of the contract for the replacement of the electrical panels in the main building of the MRC of Pontiac. Resolution, DG Kim Massage.
Computer said it has an error and had to shut down, so. So the first one is
Interesting
for,
timing.
we had our Fonds d'assurance municipalités, they did a investigation or a site visit of some of our buildings, so the buildings that the MRC owned, so one of them was the Chute Coulange, and the electrical panels, and some of the electrical panels need to be replaced because they are a risk for fire. So we got two estimates, one from Valley de Pontiac Electric and the other one from Mallette Electric. So for the Chute Coulange, we're recommending to go with Mallette Electric, was the lowest compliant bid, and for the amount of $5,250 before taxes. Then we've also received the necessary steps for the work to be completed as early as possible in 2026.
Are there any comments or questions about that? Okay, seeing none, could we have someone move the resolution? Moved by Pro Warden Raymond Pilon. All those in favor? Opposed? Wait, we'll have to do this again. Didn't see too many hands. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. 16.2, awarding of the contract for the replacement of the electrical panels in the main building of the Chute Coulange. Resolution, Kim?
I apologize because I said the Chute Coulange for the first one, yeah.
Okay, so now it's the main building of the MRC Pontiac. Thank you. Some beverages are just being served. Please wait to have it's gonna be a special moment. And just for the audience at large, it is not wine, it is cranberry juice.
So the previous one that
we just voted on
was for the main building,
Okay.
and the prices I gave was for my spring building. This main building, the old part of the MRC, of course, this new part has state of the art electrical panels. So whenever we talked about the main building, the previous resolution was for $5,250 to be awarded to Mallette. So now the second resolution for the street prolonge.
Thank you, and the amount of money is,
I have to.
that's the most important thing to know.
Mr. Natasha. So again, it's an inspection on the Service des municipalités du Québec. We again received two quotes, one from Malette Électrique and one from the Vallée du Pontiac Électrique. The lowest compliant bid was for Vallée du Pontiac Électrique for an amount of $1,833.31, and that's who we would recommend ordering the one at the Chute Coulonge to.
Okay, who would like to move the resolution? Moved by Mayor Ed Walsh, all those in favor, opposed, and that carries. Thank you. 16.3 from Volet 3, entretien de la route verte et de ses embranchements. Resolution Kim.
This is for the active transportation infrastructure assistance program, so Volet 3, which we apply for almost every year. At a budget time, it's for maintenance, repairs of the UPJ. We have projected $270,000, including taxes, for this program, so that we'd be asking for about 50% of the expenses would be covered by the grant, so a total of $135,000. And the resolution will also authorize the submission of the financial assistance application, confirming our financial contribution to the project and authorizing one of its members to sign the application. It would certify that I would be able to sign that document.
Any comments or questions? Okay, who would like to move this last resolution of the year? Moved by Mayor Terry Murdoch. All those in favor? Opposed, and that carries. We do not have any miscellaneous.
One question for Ms. Lee.
Yes, go ahead.
We were informed yesterday that crush has now been returned back to the Bruins. So I had a conversation with Derek, and we just kind of we wanted to have, like, where are we left at now? Like, have you guys been informed of that, or like crush was the recycling contract, but now he's walked away and some of them has it?
Okay, I think we should discuss this at a later time, and that's news to me. I've not heard anything, so we could maybe not discuss it now, because I don't think we have any information. But thank you for bringing that to our attention. We have a second period of question and statements, usually for our audience, which we don't have an audience here tonight. And so, before we end the last meeting of 2025, I have a little surprise. Instead of a visit from Santa Claus, I have something to read. I was not the author, but I provided the input. So we're going to, this is for a little toast at the end, to simply say, Merry Christmas, and hope that we have a safe and restful Christmas time, and welcome the new year with a lot of hope. And 2026 is going to be an amazing year, a prosperous year. And so I just want to thank all of you for your hard work. Everyone worked hard to get to this table, and everyone deserves a good rest. And so, without further ado, was the night before Christmas in Pontiac so wide, from river to forest with community pride. The council was settled, the papers all signed, as Warden James smiled, calm, steady, and kind. Did not write it. Director General Kim checked the details, each file in its place, with care and precision and administrative grace. When out in the MRC there arose such a cheer, as mayors and municipalities all drew near. From Rapide des Joachim, with Roger in sight, to Sheenborough, where Doris kept spirits bright. Chichester's Donny came in from the cold, with stories of service and leadership bold. From Leo's Alumet, Corey joined in, and Jordan of Waltham wore a welcoming grin. Sandra of Mansfield brought wisdom and care, while Pierre from Fort Collonge added some flair. Raymond from Campbell's Bay laughed by the fire as Joanna Bryson shared hopes to aspire. Jean-Louis of Calumet spoke soft and sincere, and Colleen of Litchfield spread seasonal cheer. Terry from Thorne and Jennifer Otter Lake knew strong rural bonds are not easy to break. From Elena Kaywood, Sydney came through, and Kevin of Portage has much work to do. Valerie of Bristol stood steady and strong, with Ed from Clarendon humming along. And that's supposed to be funny, so very deep, it's supposed to be very deep. And last but not least, from Shawville Bill, rounded out council with jokes and goodwill. Together they gathered from far and from near, 18 communities, one vision held dear. Through outages, floods, and long winter's night, they stood for their people with courage and fight. Budgets were weighed with a careful eye, needs of the many set courageously high. Roads, power and services, rural and strong, the work of the Pontiac carried along. And quietly working behind every scene were the staff keeping budgets and records routine. Andrea, the treasurer, steady and true, Travis, the clerk, with minutes in view, Natasha admin, keeping details aligned, Terry, the DGA, with outcomes in mind, and Francis communications, clear in each notes, so council's good work reached every remote. So Jane raised a toast and Kim nodded to Pontiac's future, resilient and true, don't drink yet. And they all heard her say as the meeting adjourned, so here's to the Pontiac, resilient and good, to mayors and councils who do what they should. Merry Christmas to all from valley to wood, and to our residents of the Pontiac, may 2026 be good. Delicious cranberry juice. Oh, and we need a motion to adjourn the meeting. Who would like to move it? Okay. Moved by Mayor Johnny Gagnon, last meeting of 2025. All those in favor?
You want to treat yourself.
Yes, we will. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting? Opposed? And we will say that was unanimous. Oh, you're opposed, Sandra?
He doesn't want to leave.